Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we will talk about how to accept single selection and multiple selection from a user in Flutter. So sometimes what happens is we have to take some input from user where we have some multiple options and user has to select only a single option from those options. Then they choose single selection. At some places, user can choose multiple options from multiple choices. Suppose your favorite movies, it can be multiple and there we need a multiple selection. So in this video, the basic concept of single selection and multiple selection working in programming is explained in Flutter. But the selection process depends on the UI, that how the animation of UI is made. But the concept wise, the backend is explained in the video. So do watch the video till end if you want to understand in a better way. Before moving further, do subscribe this channel for latest videos. Also, you can visit Navoki.com where our latest lessons are available to you in both English and Hindi. Also, if you read blogs, here blogs, articles and code lessons are available. Also allow the notification for this website so you can get latest developer updates. Whenever we make an app, we have to take note of UI, if the user interaction with the app is correct or not. So here we want to take input from user. Here we will talk about a particular type of input. Here we will talk about the selection process, when we will ask a user whether they want a selection, single option or multiple options. Here the selection process we are talking about is single selection and multiple selection. In single selection, we give option to the user where they can select a single option from multiple options. Like you can ask user for their gender, age range, answer to a quiz, a mode of payment at the time of checkout. You can select only a single option from these multiple options. On the other hand, we have multiple selection. In multiple selection, we have a range of values where you can give range of selections like list of hobbies. You have to select a list of skills, categories, your favorite movies. These options can be multiple for a single user. So in this video, we will see the concept. What is the single selection or multi-selection in Flutter, and you can apply it any type of UI and customize it accordingly. Concept-wise, selections are same. So for such selection, we use scroll view or list view. Commonly we use list view. Here you can see some multiple copies of items will be made according to the payment length, meaning here copies will be made of some selection widget, and the isSelected parameter inside of it decides if the particular item is selected or not. The code is same for a single selection and multi-selection. The difference here is, in single selection, the parameter is common for all items, meaning if any item is selected, it will get false for the other items. That's why single selection take place one at a time. Whereas in multiple selection, every item has its own copy of isSelected variable, meaning if any one item is selected, it doesn't have any effect on other items, or if any other item is selected, the first and second get selected, so it doesn't affect the other ones. We will understand this better on coding level. Here I have taken a new Flutter project and here by default a screen is made. This is default counter application and I have removed all the code. Now I will run the app and show it to you how it's looking. Here we will make a single selection widget. I am making a new class here, that is a single selection example. So in this class we will make a list view in which there will be only single selection option. After that we will show this class on main page in main.file. So let me set it as a body. For this single selection we need dataset. So here I use dataset type of filter because the type of filter users select one at a time. Here it's sort by name A to Z, sort by release date, sort by rating, sort by recently added. In this, user will make a single selection at a time. We have data setup ready. Now what will we do is sending this data in single selection example so that we can utilize it and show it in a list view. Here we will make a constructor and create a new variable of list where our list will be copied in the sort filter. After that, in the build function in this widget, we will create a new list view through list view builder function. The list view builder will create single item according to their item count. So here according to the sort filter length, those items will be generated and index number of each item will be returned. and on the basis of those index, we will return each item here. As I have made a container here inside it, I will make a view where multiple copies will be made for selection. Here I am making items of list. So to design the items of list, I will use radio here. So in radio, our first parameter is value. In this value, the unique value which is going to be assigned, we will copy it from the list. So each item of the list will be set in the value of every radio, and value of every radio will be unique. On the other hand, other parameter is group value. Remember, I told you earlier that in single selection there is only a single parameter which is shareable for everyone. Now this group value is that shareable value. If value or group value are same for any widget, then the radio will be selected. If value or group value doesn't match, or if the group value is null, then the radio will be unselected. So for the unique value of radio, we will extract each value from the list and set it as a string unique value in the radio. Here we will declare a new variable, that is selected value. This selected value will be a shareable unique value which will make selection between radios. That is, a radio will be selected, and this onChange function will be triggered when user select a radio, and the value of the radio will be returned to S. Then with the radio widget, we have to give a label to the user. So now let's try to run this app. Here is our list view is ready with the radio widget, but here selection is not being shown because by default selected value is null, which is not matched with any radio. So what here we will do is, by default when page will be open, we will select the first value on the list with the selected value, and after that we will hot reload. Here you can see that selected value is equal to the first item, meaning group value and value are same. Here our first item is selected. But if I type on multiple options, no change will be shown here because UI didn't get any information regarding the change of value, meaning selected value has been changed. So here we will use onChange function. So whenever a user clicks, an onChange function will be triggered. In S there will be a value of the radio widget, and after setting it in selected value, we will inform the UI using setState. You can see that whenever I am making a selection, the value of selected value is getting changed, and accordingly the selection is changing between the radio. Here is a single selection example is complete. Now we will work on the multiple item selection. For that, I will show that view on a dialog because normally we get asked to open a single option or multiple option on a dialog too. So UI of single selection and multiple selection, and most of the code will be same with the minute changes. So here let's declare a new function, that is open a dialog, where inbuilt function will be called to show a dialog. To open a dialog, here builder function will return the widget which will create on runtime, and it will show as pop-up. Here I am using alert dialog widget because in this there are some predefined parameters like title, content and actions. Here I mentioned the title and actions as OK or cancel. After that, I will set the body of dialog. Here for the UI, I am using single selection example. So this is the specialty of Flutter, that everything is a widget. I can create one or more copies of that state where UI and feature will be there already. So you can see dialog is present on UI now, and the single selection is there. The single selection used here is the single selection instance that I created before. These are different copies of single classes that don't have any relation with each other. So here let's implement a multi-selection widget. Here I am copying the single selection example and converting it to a multi-selection because the UI is almost same. Then we will create a new data here of favorite movies, because favorite movies of a user can be single or multiple. Here I have taken it as a multiple choice. Notice that here instead of list of string, I have used a list of movie model class, meaning this time every movie will have its own selection status. For this I am declaring a movie class here, which will have a movie name, and a boolean variable which will store whether a particular movie is selected by a user or not. By default, the object will be initialized by name and is selected by default. I will keep it as a false, meaning unselected. So our initial UI is ready for multi-selection. Because there is no shareable value in this, so I will remove the selected value and no code will be there in the init state. Because all selected values are managed by the model of the item, meaning each movie model will manage its own selected state. Now instead of radio, I will use a checkbox widget. In the checkbox widget, value as a true or false will be accepted. If the value is true, the checkbox will be ticked. If the value is false, then the checkbox will be unchecked. So how we will check the value of the checkbox? Here, every item in movie model has a selected parameter, which will tell us if a particular movie is selected or not. So I extracted is selected from item and set it as a value. And then set movie name in text as label. This list we will work up to favorite movie length items. Let's run it so you can see the checkbox has appeared. But there has no selection is taking place. Why? Because here value is getting changed, but UI isn't getting information that checkbox has been changed. So for this I am using onChange function, where the current state of checkbox will be returned if it's checked or unchecked in terms of true or false. Here I will invert the value of movie in is selected. When a user will click on the checkbox, if the value is true, it will get false, and if the value is false, it will get true. I will inform the UI through setState. Now you can see the checkbox is working properly.